Now I have a question for the ladies out there. Now, do you find this man attractive? Of course not, right? But what if he looked like this?
Oh.
Meet Joe Black. Now this is another user-submitted request by one of my subscribers, Shane. And Shane writes, "Hey Pablo, love your work. Just wanted to ask if you can do a review on the movie Meet Joe Black, which I recently watched. Want to know your thoughts on this and compare with mine, to see how good I am." Thanks for writing in, Shane, and for subscribing to my channel. And for the others who haven't subscribed yet, hit that subscribe button now so you don't miss out on my weekly videos, which are absolutely free.
Okay.
Do it. Do it.
Accomplished businessman Bill Parrish, played by Anthony Hopkins, is about to celebrate his 65th birthday. But before his birthday, Bill is visited by death in human form using Brad Pitt's body as a vessel. As far as vessels go, you can do a lot worse than Brad Pitt. Aptly named Joe Black, he makes a deal with Bill. His life will be extended a little longer if he agrees to become Joe's guide to what it's like being human.
You want me to be your guide? I wish you to see the world.
But this arrangement gets a little more complicated when Joe falls in love with Bill's daughter. Meet Joe Black is kind of like the unofficial remake of the 1934 film Death Takes a Holiday. From the director who gave A Scent of a Woman, Martin Brest gives us an unconventional love story that deals with our perception of love, death, family, and spirituality. So pretty much all the deep stuff that we only talk about when we have a drink in hand. Now let's run it through the gauntlet and run it through the bad boy.
Have you been drinking today?
Now let's run it through the gauntlet and talk about this bad boy. In the romantic scenes, a lot of the dialogue came across as corny and cheesy. You almost want to forgive it because the lines were delivered with such conviction. The film tackles such deep, heavy themes that it sometimes buckles under its own weight. At times I find that the film is trying to be so profound and too big for its own boots that the dialogue felt contrived and unnatural.
I just don't get it.
The talented and beautiful Claire Forlani as Susan did a good job. It was just the lines that she was given that made her character development questionable in terms of believability. But it's okay, because the film already tells us to suspend our disbelief, since she is, after all, speaking to a celestial being in a human body, who happens to be death personified and wants to do the no pants dance with her.
Time to musk up.
But the moment Brad Pitt does his Jamaican accent,
everything wanna be Irie.
the runtime is 3 hours, which would have been more painful if you watched this in theaters back in 1999, but it's on Netflix where we can watch it in our homes and at our own pace. Bathroom break? No problem. The runtime didn't bother me so much, but I can see some areas where they could have shaved off some time. The score was composed by Thomas Newman, who also did the music for all these amazing movies. The music was jam-packed full of emotion. It becomes its own dialogue when our characters aren't even speaking, as if it were our own personal translator helping us understand what our characters are feeling. When that orchestral music swells, it'll make your heart feel full and also know when to break your heart at the same time, turning even the toughest soldier into a sorry sack of emotions. Anthony Hopkins just blew me away with his performance. He can go from an assertive figure to a dedicated family man exposing his vulnerabilities at a drop of a hat. There's many things about his character that embodies the father figure that many of us can resonate with. And for a man who has an abundance of wealth and power, Bill comes to terms with his mortality and the fact that neither of which can stop the inevitable.
Inevitable.
Now, a lot of you guys are already thinking, this is just another chick flick. But I'm telling ya, it's not. This film has an unorthodox approach to a love story. Yes, you'll still find the typical love story tropes here, but it goes deeper than that. It challenges you to put everything in perspective, like imagine knowing when your time is up. How do you even say goodbye? What kind of legacy will you leave behind? And what can we expect when we get to the other side? If there's even another side. Now, admittedly, this is slow-paced, but I never found myself bored. But this movie isn't always serious. There are some comedic elements here, thanks to Brad Pitt and Jeffrey Tambor as Quincy. And as expected, Brad Pitt does what he does best. Act his heart out and look good while doing it. His character's like a fish out of water, discovering the world in a childlike manner, with a certain affinity for peanut butter. Everybody knows you gotta eat peanut butter with chocolate. By the way, this is the most he's ever looked like a young Robert Redford. And Marcia Gay Harden did a great job as Allison, the eldest daughter of Bill. And can I just commend Brad Pitt for his pickup game in the cafe scene?
Listen, could I buy you a cup of coffee?
Now, before I share my final thoughts, just a quick reminder to click like, share, subscribe, and hit the bell for notifications so you don't miss out on my weekly reviews. Subscribe. And if you like my content and you're feeling generous, become one of my valued subscribers by signing up to my Patreon. You'll find the link in the description below.
You could just go ahead and make sure you do that from now on. That would be great.
And now for my final thoughts. Starting with the lows, we've got cheesy dialogue. And as for the highs, we've got an amazing score. Anthony Hopkins was practically perfect and very thought-provoking.
Don't blow smoke up my ass. It'll ruin my autopsy.
So overall, this is one of the very few romantic films that I actually like. It's dramatic, but sometimes quirky and whimsical, and it's got a lot of heart, especially when Anthony Hopkins is on the screen. It's a very different approach to telling a love story, and I dig that. It takes risks, and it doesn't always follow the norms that we're all used to. You'll find this on Netflix, and it's got a 53% score on Rotten Tomatoes, so it's right on the fence. It truly is a coin toss whether you like it or not, but I really hope you do. Oh, and here's a drinking game for you. Take a shot every time you see Claire Forlani nod her head. Have you seen Meet Joe Black yet? I've shared my thoughts, now I want to hear yours in the comment section below. And while you're there, let me know what I should review next. And who am I, you ask? I am Jerry Stiller. Bye for now.
Yeah, baby!
You want a piece of me?
You got it!
So you want to subscribe to my channel but you don't know how? Well, all you have to do is click right here. So you like this video and you want to see more? Well, why didn't you say so? Boom. Just like that, we are a wrap. Rappity wrap.